There we go. Now can you hear me? Okay. So I don't have any comments. That's interesting because I can see them on my phone, but they're not showing up here. Why not? Here we are. Hi, Kylie. On YouTube tonight. Hello. Hi, Bronwyn. Hi, Fiona. I think the sound's on now, isn't it? Is it on now? Hi, Leanne. Just let me know if you've got sound now. It wasn't on a minute ago. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Naomi, Gwen, Shell. Yeah, can hear now. Yes, good. Okay. Excellent. No, I did have it on mute because someone let me know a few weeks ago that while the countdown was happening and I'm sitting here just obliviously waiting for the time to tick down, that you could actually still hear everything that was going on. So I worked out how to do. Hi, Denise. Good to see. Lots in. Oh, I know. So for those that aren't aware, hi, Veronica. Hi, Janie. Oh, never mind. Get better soon, Janie. Sorry about that. Hi, Steph. Another Cheryl. Hi. Karen. Hi. Yeah, so I put up a little post on the Facebook page a few days ago. I booked to go over to Adelaide in early December. One to see Telly's dance concert, not that she's dancing in, but the one she's teaching her 60 Littlies in, and help her pack up, ready to come home. No, she's not coming home permanently. She's just coming home for the holidays, which is, about 3 months. I get you. Oh, thanks, Fiona. Yeah, it was fun. Everyone did really well, even the guys. They did very well. Molly was the teacher. She had the kids, was the teacher. Anyway, so I thought, she was going to be rehearsing all day, so I'd be sitting there with nothing to do. So I just put a bit of post up and said, would anyone like to stitch with me in Adelaide for a day? I can run a little gathering over there, just fairly informal, thinking, might get 20 people. Anyway, we have over 100 people want to come. So that's, it blew me away very quickly. So we found a venue, got a couple of helpers, and we found a venue. And so that's all locked in. And I will... I've just got to work out a few details and costings and things, and I've set up an event page. So I will be letting everyone know the time and date that bookings will be open, because I'm not sure that we're going to fit everyone in. Actually, the venue fits 150, but I'm not sure that I can manage 150. But anyway, it'll be a nice day. It's the weekend after our gathering here. So I'll just be packing up and moving the same thing over there. Not quite the same though, not with... not like we do here, because I don't have my catering team, so it'll be BYO lunch. And I don't know the venue or the kitchen. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Carol next door. Denise will be coming +1. Okay. So that's Saturday, the 2nd of December, if you need to put that in your diary. And when I let you know the time and date the bookings will open, I think you'll have to be quick and be ready. Hi, Kathy. It might book out quite quickly. Anyway, we'll see. I'll have to decide how many want to come and how many are missing out, and whether I can go more. Okay, so other than that, it's been... Yes, you might have seen it was birthday week last week. I think I mentioned that. So we had a bit of a mystery progressive day for Tess on Sunday, and we made some little macrame keychains and some 1,000 hearts. Even the boys had a go. And then we went out to a lovely high tea, so that was nice. Matilda's birthday was the weekend before, and we're finished now till the October birthdays, I think. Oh, yes, maybe one in September, but I like to put 2 together in January and 2 together in August. Keep them all nice and close together. Okay, so what else has been happening this week? Not a lot. I've been doing lots of behind the scenes secret stitching. Got a few projects finished, deadlines met. Started stitching a few more, and I saw you were there. Might have something for you soon. I actually planned to do it today, but something else got in the way. Yeah, lots happening, and I'm still working along on my big mega retro citrus quilt, just bit by bit when there's nothing else to do. Hi, Chris. So what have we got tonight to show you? So what I grabbed tonight was just a heap. Okay, Rhonda, all the Wallaroo girls. I don't know how we're going to fit you all in. But anyway, we will do our best. Hi from the Netherlands. Hello, Annalise. What time is it there? Must be early morning, I think. Okay. So what I grabbed today was a heap of older things, old bits and pieces that you may not know that we stock and we keep. So 11 a.m. Okay, in the Netherlands now, so that's not too bad. Good timing. So you may have noticed we've been getting lots of bag goodies recently. Hi, Jenny. And new zippers and zipper pulls and things like that since we've started our bag classes with Tina and everyone's getting into bags. But we actually had other sort of bag hardware where we've had that for years because I've made lots of projects with different sorts of bag hardware and we sort of keep all that. Anything that we use in a project we keep. So I grabbed a heap of that from the shop today and I thought I'd go through and show you just quite a few bits and pieces of Hugs and Kisses branded things that we have. Before I do that, for those that are new here, I don't think there's actually anyone new here, but you can see the lottery jar is open there. So every comment you make, you get an entry into that little jar down there, down the left corner there. Can you see it? Right, right there, see? And if someone makes a comment, let's have a look. Someone say something. And you'll see a little balloon, a little bubble drop down into the jar. No one's going to say anything now, but anytime you say something, you will see a little bubble drop down into the jar. Oh, yes. Okay. Annalisa's new. And I think I saw someone else new there too. Another one there before. Anyway, so your name, if you've said hello, there it goes. There it goes. See the bubble? Oh, sorry, I missed it. Oh, it's exciting. I like to see it. Oh, there it goes. There you go. See? Someone's dropping in there. That would be Lynn. Hi, Lynn. And Joy would have been the other one. So at the end, we will pick a winner. Pick a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Someone will get something. We've got a few past winners on here now. So there you go. Well done. So that's what that little thing is in the bottom there. Hi, Sue. Sue Wiggs, hello. So your little bubble just dropped in the jar and we'll pick a winner at the end. Okay, so let me see. What are we going to start with? Where did I put all my goodies? Okay, so I've got a big box of goodies here. Okay. So I'm going to switch to overhead because I think you can probably see them overhead better. And I will, wait a minute, I'm just going to put those in the stream. I can add the links to most of these things as we're going or afterwards. So bag frames. I hope the glare of the plastic, because they're all in plastic, doesn't hurt you too much. So this is just like a square purse frame, and you can make any sort of like standard little bag just using a normal bag template. We do have some templates that come with some of these frames, but you need to request that if you order one. Just say, please include a template for me. Oh, they all just went in there without me even tapping on them. Okay, that's all right. So I can't find it now. That's all right. I'll make sure they all go in. There we are. I'll tap on that one later. So there's this little handbag purse. So that's just a standard little nice hand. You just get some beautiful fabric and make yourself a little handbag. And then you can get a chain that goes on these hooks here. We do have the chains as well. I didn't add those. But those. So that's just a standard like rectangular frame. But we do have a project that's been very popular that use this frame. So that's the exact same frame. It's called the iHex purse. It's got a little holder here with my initial on it and some stitchery on one side and hexes in lovely Tilda fabrics on the other side. I'm not sure if we've got kits left in the same colorways. There might be some left in other colorways. And then on the inside, and I've just noticed that that's broken, so it's been broken in the shop. On the inside, we've got a little pocket here for your hexie papers. And these pockets here fit your glue pen, I don't think it quite fits the applique tools, and some needles, and you can put a marking pencil or something in there. So it's a little eye hex on the go bag. So, and then that just snaps shut like that. So that's the eye hex purse. And I can add that link somewhere. Maybe. Might have been back up the other end somewhere. I'll find it later. There it is. And that goes with the rectangular frames. But of course you can make any bag you like with those. You have that somewhere, Chris? Oh, the kit, and you haven't made it yet? Oh, Matilda is saying, I hope you didn't name me after Tilda Fabrics. No, I didn't, Matilda. You came way before that. But we can say that, can't we? All right, then what else have we got? So we've got these little kitty ones. So they've got the big goggles on them. I'll pull it out. And we have got them in a few different colours. And they're the ones that I used on this little Angelique purse. So it's got some gorgeous little embroidery on the front. And on this side, it's got clamshells. So I think this was a project maybe at a gathering, can't remember, where we learned to do clamshells. And again, it's just a sweet little purse. Opens up there, quite a bit of space in there. But it's got the embroidery using the Presentia pearl threads, but you could use anything. And clamshells, so the pattern comes with the papers in there as well, obviously. That's the Angelique purse. Drop these down here. Then we have these little ones. They're little tiny ones that go on a keychain. Oops, off the screen. Go on a keychain. So they're just little tiny ones with a keychain. We have a couple of projects. There's more than this actually, but I just grabbed a couple today that use these ones. This is the little one, little tiny one, and this is Leslie's lippy purse. So just to put your chapstick or your lipstick in, little purse. And if you always like a chapstick, you can hang that off your keys and you've always got one. So it's just got embroidery on one side and embroidery on the other side. I'll show you that a bit closer up. So, but you could just do it in fabric too. Quickly whip up a whole heap for Christmas presents. One for every lip smacker in the family. Okay. So that's Leslie's purse, the lippy purse. And then there is, oh, I've lost the other one. Where's it gone? Oh, here it is, hiding here. We also have the little eat cake or treats, eat cake, I think it's called, little mini one. And that's a bit like the, what was it called? There was a blue one that we did at ASA that went with all of those. Can't remember the name of it, but anyway, it's the same pattern, so it would work with either of them. And again, it's just a little tiny one to put your coinage in, if we have coin anymore, or your thimble. So, oh, that's right, the other one's called the thimble pet purse, but that uses this one. And then you can hang that on the side of your sewing bag so you don't lose that thimble rolling around in the bottom of your bag. Okay, so that works with this one, and then that's the mini one. So those little ones. Then this is another version. I think that works with these ones. So this is the pretty purse. This is so grubby. This is one of the first purse projects I did. I think it's called the Sweet Purse or something like that. Yeah, we'll just add that. What else have we got here? Eat cake and Leslie's lippy purse. And those frames. So this one's a little bit different because it's actually got a base on it. So it's a little bit different design. It's got a little base on it. And again, it opens up and it has a little hook if you want to add it onto a chain. And these ones have two hooks as well. So I'm not sure if that's exact same size, but we have that similar one. Or of course, you can just take the frames and make any type of purse you like out of it. Which one did you find, Fiona? The thimble pip one. you must finish it off. Okay. What else have we got? We have got all of these. No, I can't find these. All these little snap flex spring clip frames. So they come in several sizes, and we've made several projects using them. And what they do is they go in the top of your project like this. So you can make a glasses case or a rotary cutter case. We've got this is just a little pouch, and when they just flick shut like that. So it's like a spring in there, and they just flick open and shut. So this is a hexicod project. It's a sweet, pretty pouch, I think it's called. It's got all the hexes in it and a little bit of embroidery. Again, it's very grubby because it's an old project. Okay, and that's the little things in there. So you remember, you know what a glasses case is like, the old glasses case, not the hard ones we have now, which is really good to have in the for your rotary cutter and things like that. So you're not at risk of having your blade open on your rotary cutter. Hi Joe, Joe's just come. Okay, the really tiny sprinklets. Yeah, we have little tiny ones. They're just like 3 centimeters wide, and we've got a glue pen pouch using those, pattern pouch using those, which is really quite sweet as well, but I forgot that one. What have I missed? Just pop that one up for you. All right, the next one. See, we've got so many different ones because I keep seeing things and then I buy them so I can try them. So I'm trying to find, I'm sure I got this one is like a key ring set. So you can put all your keys on it. And this is a project I made using that. So it's just like a little key ring. Oh, you can't see that very well, can you? Key ring, if you pull them out, there's all your keys on there and a little cover over it. It's got 1/4-inch hexies on it. But how sweet are they? See all those 1/4-inch hexies? Just sweet. And then a little bit of stitchery on the other side. But yeah, they just hangs up like that. And then you can pull that up and there's all your keys. Or you can tuck them all back inside. So that's called All the Little Things. Which I don't think it is called that, but that's what I've called it tonight because I can't remember what it's called. But that's all right. So there's fun little things here. So you might come up with lots of other creative ideas to use that. Okay, then we have some, you all know the retreat bags and the Emmeline bag frames. We actually have a couple of our own. This doctor's bag frame, the large one, you can use that. In fact, you can use them both instead of the retreat bag frames. They're ever so slightly different in size, but they work with the patterns just as well. So there's the large one, and then there's the smaller one. And the smaller one we've used in the, I just got a blank on what it's called. It is I've got it in here, so I just have to find it. Isn't that terrible when I've gone a blank? The Tickety Boo bag. So it's the doctor's bag frames. And then the Tickety Boo bag. So this was a project at Chicks That Stitch a couple of years ago. Fairly challenging. Had some little circles and some embroidery on it and some applique. But I've seen so many of them so beautifully finished and in different colorways as well. This was probably not my normal colorway, but it was fabric that I could get enough of to do a project because it needed quite a bit, and we have like 90 ladies there, so I needed a lot. But I've seen some really lovely other colorways as well. So that's the Tickety Boo bag, and that has the frame in the top, which means it opens up nice and wide like that, so you can get down into it. A lot of people added pockets and things as well. Or then when you do it up, it sits nice and closed, just like that. So that's Tickety Boo. So yeah, I've seen a lot of those. I'm sure Robin Lenny has done. She's done some beautiful ones in the soft, pretty pink tildes, as she does with most things. But I have seen them. I'm sure Anne probably has too. Anne, have you done one? I think you have in pinks, in your typical pinks. That's Tickety Boo bag, and the doctor's frames. just throwing them all away here. And then a few other things that have just come in. So we've always had just the normal magnets with the little pins that you spread out. So when you need a magnet for something, and we've got 10 mil and I think that's 18 mil there. So they're up there somewhere. Sorry, you really can't see that, can you? The little, I should have brought a project that had a magnet on it to show you. Don't have anything in front of me. Okay, but they're the ones that just undo it. I could have showed you the latest Stitches Garden project because they've all gone out now. So, but I'll keep you in suspense for a couple more weeks because that's got a magnet in it. So they've just got the two halves like that, and you just put the slits through the fabric and then bend those little legs out, and that's how they stay in there nice and firmly. So we've got those if you're always looking for those, and we've got those in more in bulk now, so the price has actually come down on those. And then I had a request recently, and they all stick together, for sew-in ones. It was actually for a lady who had knitted jumpers, and for some reason she needed magnets in the sleeves. Not quite sure why. I think it was a jumper. Oh, and yours is French General red, not pinks. Okay. Hi, Susan. Hi. So you use your tickety bag for your sock knitting. Okay, that's good too. So we got these, and they're all, and there's all different colours. I think, I'm not sure if those ones are on the website. It might just be an in-store thing, or ask if you want a different colour. 2 sizes. So there might have been a third size. It's hard because they all stick together, but various colours there. All right. So they're quite pretty. And then I've also just got the bronze, antique bronze in 3 different sizes. So there's a little weeny tiny ones if you're looking for these. So 10 mil, 18, well, no, maybe that's more like 14 mil, I reckon. And these ones might be 21 mil. Oops, they're sticking together. So you can see they're they're a pair of magnets. Oh, if I can show you there. But they're the sew-on ones. So when you can't get inside your project to bend those little prongs, you can just sew these on the outside of it. So that was, we used to have them years ago, but I'd stopped until we had a request. So I've just got some more in. I do prefer the prongy ones, but sometimes you can't always use those because you can't get inside your fabric to bend your prongs over. Okay, so I'll clean that up later. What else have we got here? Oh, we just got some new lace zips in. Okay, so we've just got 2 pinks in various sizes have just come in. So if you've used our lace zips before, do we have the pattern for the Life is Beautiful cushion, please? We had the Life is Beautiful quilt. I'm trying to think what the Life is Beautiful cushion is. Joe, do you remember what that is? The Life is Beautiful cushion. It might be the one with all the words on it, with the Rules of Life cushion, maybe. Do you have a pattern of a bigger bag, Annalise? Bigger than the Tickety Boo? Not one of my own. We do have patterns. We did bags last week. If you go back to last week's live, I showed you all our big bag patterns, which were Buy Any patterns or So Sweetness patterns. But I should make a bigger one, shouldn't I? Shall have to do that. Marilyn needing lace zips. We've got all the other colours. We just got some pinks in. Yeah, Rules of Life cushion. Yes, we do have the pattern for that, Marlene. Definitely still there. Comes with the transfer. Hi, Michelle, in New Zealand. Yeah, pink. So you might have seen, Marilyn, you might have seen Robin shared her versions of that she'd just made of what's it called? Norton Simply Sonny. The other one, Vicky Victoria bags that she'd made for gifts, and so we had heaps of people ask for pink zips. So we have those now. I haven't put them on the website yet, but we've got it at 2 different pinks and in several sizes. So the lace zips are always popular, and I have heaps and heaps of patterns that I use lace zips in, but we've used a lot of tan and red zips and cream. I haven't used pink. I'll have to come up with some pink fabrics. Oh, you did, Marilyn? Yeah, it was just beautiful, weren't they? Okay, Joe's just put the link in, Marlene, for the Rules of Life quilt. So a cushion pattern. So you can find that there in the comments. And pink zips, yep, I'll get them on the website sometime. One day I'll get around to hiring a new VA and I won't be spending all day putting things on the website and doing those sorts of things. I'll actually be stitching and designing instead. And just a couple of other, you all know that, well, you might not all know these, but I'm just showing you, we still have Hugs and Kisses needles. As you can see, it's still the old branding, because when I had these made years ago, we had to get so many thousands made that we're still working our way through them. But that's all right. You know, it's me. It's still the same needles. So we have our stitchery needles, which I just call stitchery needles because people never know what they should have, but it's a crewel number 7 needle. So it's good for 3 to 4 strands of a strand of cotton or a pearl up to a pearl 5. And then we have our applique needles, which is what I use for all of my applique and EPP, which is a nice fine size 10 needle with a nice long eye, so that it's easy to thread. And of course, because we've had so many and we got them so long ago, the price hasn't gone up, so they're cheaper than any other needle you can get now. They're still $5.50 a pack. With a pack of 10, they come in these cool little plastic canisters that can go in every sewing bag. So it's got the name on it, it's got applique and stitchery on it, so you know exactly what needle's in there and you'll never forget what you've got or not have any. So grab yourself some of those. I will throw the link in. Did I miss any links? Did I get them all? So in magnets, I did all the work of adding all these links in, so I may as well add them up there. All right, so what was I going to show you tonight? What am I demoing tonight? The trick is to replace didn't finish, Carol, but I reckon the lid so that they don't all fall out. Oh, you said all your other needles to Vinny, Sue. Oh, when we did our hi Jenny, never mind, you can watch it on replay. When we did our sewing for Tessa's birthday on the weekend, we were just going to do the macrame, and the heart project was a backup. So we weren't quite ready for the heart project, and Linda didn't really have enough decent needles, and I'm like, oh, I really need some of my needles here. So these ones are going to Linda, who hosted the little therapy stitching on Sunday, and she can have some needles, so she's got them there in her stash. The right needle back in the right container. That's right, Carol. You do need to put it back in the right container, otherwise you never know. But sometimes I can't tell. You just put them side by side, and you know the big one's the stitchery and the little one is the applique, if you forget which one's which. All right, so that's all things Hugs and Kisses. And then where we might just go to, no, I'm going to go the other way around. Oh, there we are. So I'm going to have me in the corner. We'll hide those links now, and we'll keep using here to show you what we're going to demonstrate tonight. Hi, Susan. Love your needles. Just received some. Oh, you must have just ordered some. Yeah, look, they're a great needle, a great inexpensive but very good needle. I don't think you need to spend a fortune if you've got the right size and shape needle. I like the applique ones because they don't bend, because they're a little bit stronger, more so than a milliner, which bends very quickly. That I can't work with a bent needle. And the stitchery ones are just perfect for my needs, and they're lovely and sharp. I won't tell the story that someone sent me once. All right, what else am I going to show you? First of all, I'm going to show you this. Okay, now, so who ordered the Hearts for Pam bundle? It was a big promotion back in maybe March, April, from Cottage Garden Threads, and I think there were 12 designers that all participated, and we all donated a pattern to raise money to help Pam get through some life-saving surgery. And she is now just back at work now after that surgery. And is starting to die again, and their team's trying to catch up. So I believe you might have got an email this week about the progress of when those bundles are coming. But this was my little design that I did. So we just got sent a bundle of cottage garden threads to use, and we could do anything. There was a lot of cross-stitch designers, all sorts of thread designers. So, okay, there's a few here that are still waiting. So you might have got your email this week with an update. Anyway, this is the design I did, and I was just laying on the bench when I grabbed the camera, and I thought I might have shown you, I might have put a photo up originally, but I'm thinking maybe once all the bundles go out, I probably should make this into something and release it as a design, because it's quite a nice, sweet little design. And if you missed out on the Hearts for Pam bundle, you might still like it. So I'll get on to that. Hi, Jeanette. Never mind. You can watch the replay. Hi, Jenny. Oh, I think you were there before. So this was my design that I donated to Hearts for Pam, and hopefully that helped them get back on their feet. Don't like to see an Aussie business doing it tough. So yeah, and of course we all love cottage garden threads. So I'll get around to making that into something one day, and or even just releasing it as an embroidery pattern. Maybe I'll hoop it and do it in that. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you that because I saw that on the thing. Oh, and another thing I need to show you, but I need to switch to this just because I've got one left. One of 6 that we've had to deliver that's sitting here. And I've also, I'm about to show you a snuggly bug quilt. I know many of you are on my list, but we've got another 3 requests out at the moment. They were a bit short on block makers. So if you're on that snuggly bug list, or you can find the Facebook page to see the last request, we're just short on a few blocks. If anyone's able to whip up a block and send it in, or send me an email first so I can give you the details. And help us out with our snuggly bug quilts, because we've had a run of about 9 or 10, so it's asking a lot of the few people that always donate. Hi, Isabel. You can watch it on catch up. So anyway, this is one that's come in that hasn't been delivered. So the other 2 that came in this lot that I did have been delivered. So again, that's very sweet, isn't it? So, not sure if you can see all that. So I think from memory, this was for maybe a baby or a young girl. And the request was for pinks, purples, sparkly unicorns and rainbows. So I've shown you some of these before, but you always come up with the perfect fabrics and blocks you find to do these for these little kids, these little children that mean so much to them. And Hilary of Fairfield Quilting, who quilts almost all of them, always comes up with the perfect quilting designs. This one, if you can see it, it's got unicorns in the quilting and stars. Maybe you can see it on the back more. Let's look on the back, see if we can see it. Or maybe you can't see it on the back, but there's the unicorns. Unicorns, whatever that is called. I'm not quite even sure. Where's he now? Here's another one here. Here's the unicorn here. Maybe you can't see it very well. Anyway, I think that's very sweet, and it's going to make one little girl very snuggled and very wrapped in love from quilters everywhere. So that's another snuggly bug. Yes, that was Mr. Bentley. I'm not quite sure what he was barking at. Shed Guy's not here tonight, so it's just he and I. Oh, Shed Guy just sent me a photo. He's out at dinner. I think he's sending me a photo of his dinner because it was probably better than my reheated frozen meal. That's okay. And Steph Rowan worked with your son last week for Long Tan Day. I meant to tell you that. Yeah. He didn't realise till afterwards who it was, but he's worked out now who it is. Okay, so anyway, that was a snuggly bug I thought I'd show you. All right, let's catch up on where we're up to on our owl and hare. So last week I did some little flowers and leaves, and I just stitched it down, added some stabilizer to the back, and put it in a hoop and did my little stems. I didn't have the pattern with me, so I just made it up. I actually think maybe that there was meant to be a saucer on the teacup. I'm not quite sure on that. And then I think it has the ring around it, but I didn't bother with that either. I'll make it into something one day. Who knows? Could be something. Then I did finish this one. So they're actually a lot of stitching down, aren't they? If you've done these, once you stitch applique inside and outside all the way around, there's quite a bit of stitching. And then I just did a little quilting stitch as well. So again, I put the stabilizer on the back. Because there was so much stitching, even the applique, I put it on before the applique, just so it didn't pucker while I was doing it. You don't have to, but I did that so it stayed nice and flat. And then I did just a little quilting stitch inside and outside. But I think that actually is really pretty just as a block on its own, isn't it? So I might have to. I am planning to. I haven't done it, sorry. I think I've promised before. We don't actually have a pack of just coffins available, so I soon can. So I need to get a. Thanks, Annalise. So I have to leave for work. You can catch the rest on catch up, and we're here the same time every week. So it'd be lovely to see you again. So yeah, we'll do up some packs of 100 or however come out on the sheet of coffins if people want to play with coffins, because I'm sure there's lots of other layouts and everything too that works really well. So coffins and hexies, but that was the block from the Homespun Owl and Hare project. So there was that one, and we did the bunny. And we did the ring and the hexies. So we've done that. We did how to embroider and how to do a ring of hexies. So we've done that. And then this was the Dresden block, just with the stitchery around it. I actually thought I might just do the same thing. I might just make a circle with my circle rulers, do a run of running stitch, and then tonight I was going to demonstrate circles. Well, I am going to demonstrate circles, and I thought, I could have just put dots around it, but too late now, I haven't done that. And then this was my little owl. I don't know what I'm going to do with my little owl. He's just sort of sitting there on a little circle. So he might just go in the unfinished projects box for now. Okay. So tonight I did say that we would do circles, applique circles, because there are circles in the quilt if you are doing the quilt, but everyone's always asking about hints and tips for circles. So just let me turn my iron on so that can heat up. And you might know that I do a lot of circles. Okay, so we actually have pre-cut packs of applique paper circles in all different sizes. There's random packs, and then there's from 1/4 inch right up to 6 or 7 inch circles, because I just think it's the easiest way to turn and get a perfect circle if you're appliquing a circle onto something. Okay, so I've also you might have seen me doing my citrus retro flower quilt. I have been doing thousands of circles, well, maybe not thousands, but certainly hundreds, and some really little tiny ones. So if I take some of these out, oops, I can't lose any, but I will. You know, Murphy's Law is that I'll lose at least one of every size. I already am as I'm doing things, but you can see these ones are little 1/4 inch ones. Okay, and then a bit bigger and a bit bigger. So circles, I say, are the first thing that the applique police will look at, if you're bothered about that. And probably they're the hardest thing to get perfect. And so if you can perfect a circle, then you're going to be good at anything. So that's why I thought I would show you a few different ways I do my circles. Just going to press these. And then we'll just get some random sizes out here. So for those that are uninitiated, these are circles I cut from our iron-on leave in applique paper. So this helps us get an edge. Now these ones are quite old, so they're actually from our original paper that softens quite a bit over time just without washing. So they're not going to be very stiff. So whereas the new ones in the new paper are much stiffer. So I'm just going to cut out with about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, and then the first way I do it, now I put my glue pen away in that hex purse, of course, is just like I do everything with my thumb and thumbnail. So it's glue around the edge of the paper, no wider than the seam allowance, and then I fold until I fill the edge and then push down onto the glue. Do you want me to zoom in a bit? Let's see if I can zoom in a bit there. Okay, I've just got to stay on screen a bit better. You see that okay? Let's just get rid of that. Okay, so I folded, and with my nail on the very edge, I'm just letting it feed around the paper and pinching it onto that glue. And I'll just have to put some more glue in because by the time I got to it, it had dried out. So feed and pinch, feed and pinch. And just let it feed around the paper. Don't want to roll the paper in. Because we want to keep it a perfect circle. And the beauty of getting the die cut circles or the laser cut circles is that it is a perfect circle. If you try and trace and cut out a perfect circle, it's very hard to do. Even if you've got like the little circle cutout rulers and things, it's still really hard to trace and cut a perfect circle. Punches and things will work. And so that's the first way of doing it. Okay, the next way, particularly if you're getting smaller, so let's go to a bit smaller. And all those little 1/4 inch ones I actually did do with my thumbnail the other night, but I'll tell you what helped me in a minute. Okay, so the next way is with tools. We've talked about the tools before, so these are the applique tools, or you can have any of your own sort of little tool that you might have. So with this one, I'm holding it with the fork and I'm using the flat beveled edge to push it over a little bit by a little bit onto that glue, just a little bit at a time. If it was a little tiny 1/4 inch one, I'd probably switch to the other pointy end and literally pull one thread over at a time. The problem with this is that you've got to with the tools, you've got to put your glue pen down all the time because you need 2 hands. And that takes a lot more time, and on the lounge it rolls off and the dog gets it and runs away with it. You can see a few bite marks in there. But that's how you can do it with the tools. Okay, and there's our circle. Now let's go to a smaller one. And this is not a 1/4 inch. This is about, I reckon this is 3/8. Oh, this might be 1/2 inch actually. This one. I don't know that I've got any 1/4 inch papers here. Have a look in a minute. But this one, I'm actually going to use the pointy end and just bring over the tiniest little bit at a time. So the flat end gets me box pleats still when the circle's too small, whereas the pointy end, I can just bring a tiny bit at a time. Am I still on screen? Okay, sometimes it's the end one that's hard, so I tend to go in the middle, and then you just need to work in both sides of that last fold until you get that nicely in. I'm doing that quite quick. Just give it a little press. Oops, that just pressed it out. So that's pretty dodgy, that one. I'll go back and do that slower and fix that up. But here's the little tip. When they get really small, if you can do, where's my glue side? 2 layers of paper. It's just a little bit stronger. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. So the 2 layers gives me something much harder to either use the tools or my thumb to push up against. So I don't have to be worried about turning the edges of the paper over. I can be a bit more aggressive and push it to the edge and slide it in. Okay. The other thing you can do with 2 layers, particularly if it's quite small, these are actually almost ovals instead of circles. I'm not sure what they were cut for. Oops. Okay, I'm just going to have, done with that now, just going to have a slightly bigger seam allowance, just in case it frays out. So with little 1/4 inch ones, I usually cut my seam allowance down a little bit. And then I'm going to take, if I've got one somewhere, an applique needle and thread. You want quite a big knot. So I'll do a few extra wraps to get a big knot. So it doesn't work with just a single layer of paper because it will just fold in. But if I use 2 and do a gathering stitch around it, oh, Bentley, seriously? He's just decided to take something so that I will give him some attention. Okay, so I'm just doing a gathering stitch. And you can all imagine what I'm going to do here. So then I can just gather up my seam allowances into a circle, or in this case the papers were a bit oval shaped. And tie it off. So if you really struggle with the little circles, just do 2 layers of paper, gathering stitch, and then gather it up. And that way you can get a much more even circle. If you've got any little lumps and bumps when you're sewing them down, remember you can still tuck any little points in with the needle as you're sewing it down. So that's a few different ways to master circles. Again, we need to do pinch and gather, not a flat thumb. We need a gathering stitch, not a box pleat, as I call it. And then I thought I'd just, for the last little demo, for those that haven't seen it, I thought I had one. I just thought I'd quickly show you the applique stitch again. So I normally glue up all my pieces onto the background and then I stitch them all down at once. But because I haven't made my background blocks on this quilt yet, there's 16 and they're all pieced, and I'm sitting there at night and I've got all these bits, what I've started doing is actually gluing them up, the little motifs, in layers, that has layers, and stitching one layer to the next. So that'll all be pre-done before I put it onto the background. Then I may or may not do the applique onto the background by machine. I'll see when I get to the end, because there's hundreds and thousands of pieces in this project. But it's just one in progress. It's not, I don't have a deadline. So you can see that I've already stitched the top circle onto the red, and now I'm stitching the square onto that, and you can see on the back how it was cut out, so the square sits in that bit there. For most of it I'm using this the Deco Bob 80 weight poly in the silver, And you can see this was, I don't know how big this was, 2,000 yards maybe even more, because it's a bigger spool. I actually have a whole set of all the new Deco Bob colours coming. Lucky me. I'm just catch up on a few comments. Sorry. I like it using 2 layers of paper. Yeah, 2 layers of paper is good. Let me go back and see a few questions. Sharon, how good are the tools for turning tiny applique? Yep, that's when I switch to them all the time. Sometimes your thumbs are just too big, thick and fumbly. Karen K. Buffy scissors, yes, wouldn't use anything else. Little circles, glad circles, and I have lots to make on my next book, so you have helped lots. Great, Chris, that's good. Practice makes perfect. So I've got a box of thousands of them. That's my, when I've got nothing else to do project, I just get all my little papers and glue them all onto scraps of fabric and then stitch them down. Anyway, so I've got my big box of threads coming. When it comes, I will show you. She did say I could just have a look at them to choose colours and then sell them, but I think I might have to keep them for myself. Yes, Mr. Bentley has sampled my Deco Bob. Again, last night it rolled off and I got up to do something else. And I'm like, what's he chewing now? But I looked at it last night and I thought, this is nearly empty. So I only ever use this for hand applique, and I've probably only had it, I don't know how long, maybe I've had it a couple of years, but I've only been using it about a year. I found it again and it's nearly empty. So I'm thinking I've done lots of kilometres of applique with that thread. Anyway, so I've been using that for most of the colours, but I switched to red for this because I am stitching exact just on red, so it's easy to switch to red. And we have our, remember we have our little bobbin tubes that have all the colours in it, so all the colours that you would ever need. So my applique stitch, just as a reminder, I've knotted my needle, I'm using my applique needle, I'm using the fine thread, and I'm coming up through the back and just catching the fold of the piece on top. Then I'm going straight down in the same hole, but just through the background. Okay, but it's pretty much the same hole that the thread came up in. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but as close as possible. And then we move along and catch the edge fold. I'm using my thumb to pinch it all together so it can't flop around. When I glued it on, I just put a few little dots of glue. It's not completely glued on tight because I need to be able to get under the edges to tuck anything on. So just a dot in the middle. So I pinch it tight so it's not flapping around everywhere. And when I bring this needle up, if I wasn't doing that, it's going to flap around and not go exactly where I want it. Whereas if I'm pinching it tight, I can make it go exactly where I want it, just into that folded edge of the fabric that wraps around the paper. So straight down, move along through the top. And as I pull it through, I pull quite firmly and give it a little tug so the tiniest bit of thread that's on the top from going straight up and down just sinks into the weave of that fabric and you won't see it. You might be able to see a dent on the yellow. I used the silver thread. I can't see the thread, but I can see a dent. But once I wash that and dissolve that paper, you won't see that dent at all. It'll be totally invisible. You won't see it. So you're just seeing a dent. You're not seeing the thread where I've pulled it through. So I'll just stitch along to the corner. And you could imagine this is a leaf with a point if you wanted to, because that's the question I get most asked, how to do leaves with points with tails that stick out. How long are we up to? Oh, we're up to nearly an hour. Sorry, I've kept you a long time. Hopefully you're picking up some tips. And I have to say hello to Mum if you've remembered to watch, Mum. Okay, so my stitch has gone into the corner. I'm going to do a second stitch into that corner. So I go straight down and straight back up into the corner so that that's locked down. Then I take my needle and I've just got a little bit of a tail because it is a square, so I really shouldn't have any tail. So I'm just going to sweep that under out of the way. And then I go down in the corner again, oops, off the camera, and slide along. But just remember, you need to be in control. So you need to be holding that all close together so it can't flop around and do what it wants. It's going to sit right where you want it, so the needle goes right where you want it. I'm right-handed and I work right to left and I work towards the applique piece. I've seen people try and do it this way, and even if they're going right to left, they're trying to get in that way. And for me, that is just so unnatural and very awkward. And you just don't have that same control of piercing that little edge fold exactly where you want it. But just remember, straight up, straight down. All the movement of thread, so where you're moving along, should all be on the back. If we turn it over, you can barely see it, but can you see the stitches on the back there? Let me see this one here. You can see the stitches there. So all the movement is along the back. And on the front, you're just straight up and down. So you'll never see your stitch. You'll always get top marks for your applique stitch if you use this method. Okay. All right. There's a couple of comments there that I've missed. Let's see. What have we got? It's good to watch. I don't know, Fiona. It might be like watching paint dry. Tracy, Mum is too busy watching her show. Still very excited after her visit today. Oh, what show's on tonight? I didn't think there was anything on tonight. Sorry, that was my sister just reporting in that Mum's not watching. So anyway, yeah, Melissa, that's like we try all sorts of things for tiny circles because it is probably one of the trickiest thing. And as I said, it's what the applique police will check first, your circles. If your circles are good, then all your applique is going to be good because it is one of the trickiest things. Watching cricket is like watching paint dry, is it, Bianna? Janine won't say that. Just be careful. Thanks, Denise. I'm pleased you learn something each week. So anyway, that's probably enough of watching me stitch tonight. I'll pack this up and prop myself up on the lounge, on the recliner with a blankie. And I've been watching Unforgotten on Stan. There's about 4 series. I think I've just started the fourth series, so I don't know if anyone's watched that. Blooming Marvellous, not until January. Quilt airing will be in January, so you got heaps of time. Sorry you weren't well last week, but your hubby did a good job to come in and get that for you. Hope you're feeling better now. Hope that helps with the circle tips. Yeah, always happy to help out with our papers and how you can use them to get both enjoyable work and work that you're happy with. That's the whole idea, that you don't stress about it, but you also get good results, which is exactly why it's the only way I will do it and why I try and come up with all these tools and products to take the pain points away. All right, so that's probably about it. We're nearly up to the hour, and I don't think I've got, unless anyone's got any questions, I think that's it for today, and we'll see you all again next week. Yes, we will. Okay, bye for now. Oh, no, I have to call the jar. Sorry, well done, Fiona. I just about clicked stop. I would have been too late. All right, we have to pick our winner. Let me pick a winner. I think it's Marlene. Marlene Fracas. There you are. So you're about to order the Life is Rules of Quilting cushion pattern. So we will throw in, I think that was you, we will throw in a little gift for you. So you'll get a little surprise. I think we've still got some of the stitchery panels from Alan here, stitchery blocks left. We'll throw in there for you as well. If not, if you don't order, just make sure you contact Joe with your mailing address so we can send your little prize out to you. And I'm pretty sure that's what it says. It's really tiny in the bottom of my screen, but I'm pretty sure it's Marlene. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Thanks for reminding me, Fiona. We will see you all next week. We will. Good night. Happy stitching.